For those of you here who are from the reading lab, English lab, any lab, if you're interested in playing the role of a math tutor, raise your hand. Math tutor, Steve? Okay. I need one more math tutor. And Daniel. Okay, great. Now, who wants to be their students? Everybody's hand goes up. Okay. We've got one. And who else is my other student? All right, we've got you. So we've got a tutor and a student. Oh, two tutors, two students. Now, who wants to be my reading or English? I would say reading lab because it came from a reading lab specialist, the question. Great. So let's start off first with our math tutors. So who wants to go first, Daniel or Steve? Okay. Now keep in mind that we no, you don't have a lifeline. But I'll give you a few minutes just to take a quick look at the question. But also, we want to try to keep this as real as possible. And as we do this, I am going to be passing around a handout, and that's going to be your homework assignment, which is to observe what it is that you're seeing. And keep in mind that we're all in this learning process together. So try to keep it positive criticism in a sense. Don't say, "Oh, it's horrible. What is he talking about?" kind of thing. This is not our goal. If you're not good, you won't be working for the SLC. You're good. So I just want you to be able to observe certain things and see what did you like about the tutor. What did you think that the tutor could do to improve a little bit? Maybe some of us are very new. Some of us this is our first job. Some of us who have 5-10 years of experience. You're going to see that variety, which is great, for our learning purposes. But so on that paper that I give you, jot down the things that you observe, because your journal reaction for next week is going to be writing a paper based on your observations of today's mock sessions. It is listed on the handout that I'll give you, so you'll know exactly what the question is. Basically, I just told it to you, but you'll have it with you. So jot down the things that you will be observing, and let me give Daniel these guys no talking, just take notes.
Hi, my name's Daniel. How are you?
I'm alright, man. I'm having a tough problem with this question right here.
Okay.
You know how to do it?
Absolutely. So we're doing a basic algebra question here, and what the main purpose of this question is actually order of operations. Okay. So do you remember in class learning about something called PEMDAS?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Do you remember what it stands for?
Not really. I'm not clear about that.
All right. So each one of those letters there represents actually the function or operation that we're supposed to do in the order. Okay. So P stands for parentheses, which means we do everything inside the parentheses first.
Right.
Okay. E is for exponents, which means we do all the exponents next, and multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction after that.
Okay, so then what you're saying is that we do each one of these first?
Right, exactly, in that order. So if I'm going to put this question, all right, so we have 7 plus 5 squared divided by 4 times 2 to the third. All right, so remembering what each one of those letters actually stands for, what do you think that we're going to do first?
I said the parentheses first, right?
Good. So we have some work that we have to do with inside the parentheses, right?
Right.
So going along with our letters, what's the next thing that we're going to do?
So we add these two first?
Well,
7 plus 5 4?
Well, we are going to add those two first, but don't forget that we have this exponent up here, okay? And exponents are going to come before addition, right?
All right.
All right. So what we have to do is simplify this exponent number first. All right. So what is 5 squared?
25, right?
Good. All right. So we're going to rewrite this with the exponents simplified, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we're just going to take it one step at a time, right? All right.
All right, I think I understand this. So do we just divide now?
Okay, well, first we still have those parentheses, right? All right, so we're going to keep working within those parentheses so that way we can get rid of those parentheses first, all right? So
Okay.
what's the next thing that we're going to do within those parentheses?
We add these.
Good.
then, right?
All right. So what's 25 plus 7? Or 7 plus 25?
32, right?
32. All right. So now we're going to rewrite this again. All right. All right. So now we're done with our parentheses, right? So we got all that done. We did a little bit of the exponents, but that was because they were inside the parentheses, right? So we have one more exponent left. So what are we going to do there?
All right, let me ask you, is there an easier way to do this question? 'Cause-
Yes, if you don't want to learn each one of the steps individually, I can show you doing all of this stuff all at once, with all the exponents all at once. But I think that we're going to do this one step at a time so that we can learn each one of the steps and understand what's going on within them.
All right, so let's
All
do
right.
this first, and then you show me the easier way, because that's like too much for me.
All right, so what's 2 to the third?
2 to the third, 6.
No. 2 to the raised to the third power. So we have
What does
2
that mean?
times 2 times 2,
Oh, yeah.
right?
All right.
So what do we have here?
That's 8.
8. Okay, so now we're going to 32 divided by 4 times 8.
Okay.
All right? Now, going by our, now all the exponents are, whoops. I don't know what I'm doing. Now that all the exponents are gone, we're left with multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Multiplication and division can be done left to right, okay? Whichever one comes first, all right? So you have division and you have multiplication. Going left to right, which one do you have first?
We have division first.
Division first. So we're going to do with those two numbers first, okay? So what's 32 divided by 4?
How much is that again?
Want to
That's
do the
8,
long
right?
one? 8. It is good. All right. So we got 8 times 8. So now we're only left with the multiplication. What do we have?
That's 64.
64.
All right. So it's long, though. It's long.
It is long, but this way we understand each one of the steps of what's going on within each one of the orders of operation.
All right, I got it.
Gotcha? All right. Good.
Where's the easy way now? Thanks.
Clap. All right.
All right, we're gonna get our next group. Oh, you need one? Yes, I have one. And our next group is gonna be Case from the Reading Lab, and your name?
So I'm having a hard time understanding what the main idea on this is. I can't get it.
Okay, well, main idea can be tricky at times to find, but generally what kind of strategies would you use when you're not sure to find a main idea? What do you do usually?
Maybe eliminate the ones I think that are not right.
Okay, anything else?
I don't know.
Have you done this activity in class yet?
Yes, I did.
What has your professor recommended?
To go to the reading lab because I couldn't understand.
Okay, well, fair enough. All right. Well, what do you understand the main idea is? What is the concept of the main idea? Okay, yeah, take a few seconds to read it, please.
Well, I kind of understand that it has to do with it's a long paragraph. Overpopulation?
Overpopulation? Okay, that's definitely an option. Okay,
Mhm.
so, but first of all, tell me, what is the main idea? Not in this paragraph, just generally speaking, what is the main idea?
I don't know if it has to do with the government or the United Nations or population. That's where I can't get the right idea.
Okay, okay. Now, generally speaking, when we think of main idea, if we have like a long paragraph like this one, is the main idea going to be talked about only in one of the sentences, in a few of the sentences, or perhaps all?
Possibly in all,
All. Why would you say that?
so that it tells you about the same thing over and over, so that becomes the main idea.
Right, right. That's what the author's trying to tell you.
Mhm.
Right? Okay, that's good. Now, out of all the subjects that you just told me, like the possible topics, you said United Nations, overpopulations, and the other options, which one do you think, from reading this paragraph, would probably be the most plausible?
I would say mainly they're talking about overpopulation, but at the same time, they're saying what it's being done to reduce population.
Okay, let's just take a look at it, okay? Now, what does the first sentence say? The United Nations predicts the world population will be greater than 10 billion in 2055, right? Okay, so can you read the rest to me?
Colonization used to be the preferred method of population control, but there are fewer and fewer new lands to which people can spread. Two approaches to population control still remain.
What have we been talking about now? What subject has kept coming up again and again?
Overpopulation.
Well, yeah, population, generally speaking. Okay, good. Let's keep going.
Two approaches to population control still remain. One of them comes in the form of government sanctions, restrictions, and rewards that motivate people to control their reproduction.
Are there any words here you're not entirely sure of?
No.
You okay?
So far,
Okay,
it's good.
if there are any, just let me know. Okay, let's keep going.
China's one-child policy is an example of this, but such government programs are heavily criticized for promoting abortion and, in some cases, the murder of infants. The other form of population control occurs through awareness campaigns. The education of women, in particular, has played a big role in the reduction of birth rates. When couples learn how to control their reproduction, they often choose to delay or even avoid starting a family. As the population grows, it becomes increasingly expensive to raise children. When they are given methods and the freedom of choice, many couples choose to limit family size.
Okay, so tell me what the paragraph is. What is the paragraph telling you, basically? What do we talk about first? First, we talk about population, and then what's next?
Reduction of population?
Okay, and how many methods did they talk about?
Abortion, the government being involved.
Okay, now when the government is involved in the abortion methods, do the people have their own choice? Or do
No.
they have to do what the government says?
No, because, well, the government gives them a choice, they do have a choice.
Okay, that's true. I can't argue with that. Definitely. Okay, so out of all these sentences, from 1 to 10, which one do you think is the main idea? And tell me why you've chosen this. If you're not sure of one, maybe give me two, which you think are possible.
I would say number 10
Okay.
or number 3.
Number 3. Okay, that's very possible. Okay, let's look at number 3. Two approaches to population control still remain, right? And number 10 says, can you read it to me?
When they are given methods and the freedom of choice, many couples choose to limit family size.
Okay, which subject did we talk about the entire time?
Overpopulation.
Okay, so do we have 2 separate paragraphs here or 1?
I'd say 1.
Okay, 1. So which answer do you think is more likely? You said 3?
I'd say 10,
Or 10.
definitely.
10. Okay, and why do you say this?
Because it's like the conclusion that if the government gives them choice, they're more likely to make the right choice of limit family size.
Okay, that sounds. And what methods did you use to deduce this?
What?
What method did you use to find the main idea?
Oh. Eliminating.
So
Possible choices.
you eliminated the subjects that, I mean, the sentences that didn't seem like a main idea to you, right? Okay, good. So in the future, would you use a similar method, perhaps?
Definitely, yes.
Definitely. Okay. I'm going to give you a handout now, so you can go over the main ideas. I want you to go over them yourself, and then come to me after you're done, and we'll go over all your answers, make sure they're good or not. Okay?
Okay.
And then after that, you can go back to class, and everything should be all right.
All right, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we have Steve and Michelle who are going to be doing now a math question for us. And should open it up.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you today?
Not good.
What do we have? What's the problem?
Word problem. I suck at them.
Oh, word problem was supposed to be easy. We're gonna take a look at it. All right, can you read the problem for me?
If the length of a rectangular parking lot is 10 meters, less than twice its width, and the perimeter is 400 meters, find the length of the parking lot?
So tell me, what do you understand this problem?
No.
Nothing at all?
I see the number 10 and 400.
Okay, so let's go from here. When you have to do a word problem, every comma you have means something. This means you have another information. So we're going for the first sentence, right? I mean, the first part of the sentence. If the length of the rectangle parking lot is 10 meters, less than twice its width. So what information do they give us here?
Twice? That's number type of word?
Okay, so you have two sides, right?
Yes.
A length and a width, right?
Yes.
Okay, now what information you have about both of them?
That the 10 meter less than twice its width.
Okay, which one is 10 meters less than another one?
Length?
Okay, so if we want to call the width W, right?
Okay.
Because it's taught by W, right? Okay, we have a W, right? They say the length of a rectangle parking lot is 10 meters less than twice its.
Width.
Okay, so what is the length? It's 10 meters less, right? So how would you write that?
10 minus 2W?
Okay, let's put it down. 10 minus 2W. Okay, but there's a problem here. If I tell you that, okay, you have $5, right? And I tell you that I have $2 less than what you have, what would be my money?
$3?
$3. How you get that?
I did 5 minus 2.
5 minus 2. Okay. So why you did the opposite right here? Because they tell you that it's 10 meters less than twice.
But it's 10s first.
Well, I told you that you got $5 and I got $3 less than your $5. So I have $3 less than $5. Why don't you put the 3 first?
I don't know.
Right? So because it make more sense with money.
Yes.
Okay, let's see that with money. It's like you have $10, right? I mean, I have $10 less than what you have. How would you do that?
I would put the twice as width first.
Okay, so which means this wasn't good.
No.
Okay, let's erase that one. So you put what first? The
2W.
Okay, the 2W, right? Minus the 10, correct?
Yes.
Let's erase that as well. Okay. All right. So now we got our two length and width, right? What is the formula of a rectangle? Do you remember how you find the perimeter of a rectangle?
Add up all sides and multiply them.
Oh, I don't know. You might remind me.
Add them all up.
Okay, add them up. So my perimeter will be what? PU will equal to
W plus W plus L plus L.
W plus L plus L, right? Makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, what about we write it down? Right? We have W and we have L, don't we?
Yes.
Okay, our perimeter will be W gonna stay as W.
I mean, we have a W plus a W, which gives you what?
2W.
2W, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, what is L plus L?
2L.
2L, correct. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, what about we put the value of W, W gonna stay as W because that's what we know, it's W, right? What
Yes.
about L?
L, we put 2W
To
minus
the,
10.
there you go. Okay, for the L, we put 2W minus 10, right? So we're gonna have P equal to 2W, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus the 2W plus 2 times 2W minus 10, correct?
Yes. What do we put?
Oh, okay, so now we have another information. It tells us that the pyramid is 40 meters.
400.
I mean 400. So how do we do that? I don't know.
We plug in 400 for P
There
because
you go.
perimeter was P.
Let's try that. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna have 400 is equal to 2W plus 2 times 2W minus 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you remember how you do this operation? Because
Do we do 2W plus 2 and then multiply?
but do you remember PEMDAS? What it stands for? And you go from left to right.
Mm-hmm.
What does that stand for?
Parentheses. Exponent.
Okay. So do we have any parentheses there?
Yes.
So what do we do first?
But 2W minus 10, we can't combine it.
Well, but we have a 2 in front of it. Do we do multiplication or addition first? Which one comes first? The A or the M?
M.
Okay, so we're gonna do.
Multiply.
So we're gonna have to distribute these 2 to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to that as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have 400. We write everything down as they were, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is equal to 2W. What is 2 times 2W?
4W.
4W. And what is 2 times a positive 2 times a negative 10?
Negative 20.
Negative 20, correct. Okay, now can we combine any like terms here?
Yes. The 2W's.
Okay, the 2W's. So if we combine those two, what do we have?
6W.
Okay, 6W, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we bring that down, we're gonna still have a negative 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is equal to 400, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the next step? Where's our goal?
Solve for W.
Yes, because they ask us to find the length of the parking lot, right?
Yes.
How do we solve for W?
You move the 20 over.
How do I do that?
Add.
Add
20.
20, okay, I add 20 here. And that's it?
And that side too.
Okay, there you go. Whatever you do to one side, you gotta do it to the other side.
Add.
So this is cross out.
You
I
forgot
have
the
this,
add.
right? And I have a 6W. And then what do I have?
420.
420. So what's the next step?
Still get W by itself.
How do we
So
get W by itself?
Move the 6.
How do we move the 6 now?
I don't know.
See, whenever you have addition or subtraction, you use the opposite operation. Here we had a subtraction.
Uh-huh.
We use what?
Add.
Addition. And here what do we have?
6W.
6W. We can, if we want to rewrite that, it would be 6 times W, right?
Yes.
Right? And we bring down the 40, the 420. So now we have a multiplication. What do we do?
Divide.
Divide. Divide by what? By W?
By 6.
Okay. 6 to 1
We don't
side.
put W?
If you put W, you're gonna cancel W, but you need W,
Okay.
don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we divide by W here?
6.
Okay, 6. Okay, here what do I have left?
70?
How you get 70?
What, 640?
Huh? you need to show me how you get 70.
6 and 242.
Okay. But here, what do we have? We still
Cancel.
Okay, this cancels. So we have W here.
Yes.
What about you do this for me? You want to try to do this? This 420 divided by 6?
Mhm.
You want to do the division? Correct. Okay. All right. It's wonderful. But are we done now?
Yes.
Read the question again.
Find the length of the parking lot.
What do we find?
W.
W. Do you remember back on up there, what did we have? What relation we have between W and L?
Plug it back in.
There you go. We got to plug it back in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember what did we have earlier? We had L is equal to
2
2W
W
minus
10.
10. All right? So how do we do that? We plug
70.
70 back in.
Mhm.
Let's read this real quick. Okay, we're gonna have L, right? Is equal to
2 times
2 times
70
70
minus 10.
minus 10. Right, so what do we do first now?
2 times 70.
How do we get 2 times 70? 70 times 2.
140.
140 is 2, 0, and
Mhm.
okay. So we have L is equal to 140 minus what?
10.
10. What is L?
130.
130. Do we answer the question?
Yes.
Was it that easy? You did it all by yourself.
Yeah, but I can't do this at home if you're not next to me.
But math is practice. Just practice it. All right?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey,
So what's your name?
Mike, and you are?
I'm Marilyn.
Okay, nice to meet you, Marilyn.
Okay.
I got a cool question about this. I have to understand this poem, and I understand the words, but I don't understand the meanings behind them. I mean, I know he rhymes a lot, but
Okay. What class is this for?
poetry class.
Okay. Have you guys read it in class?
No, he gave this as a homework assignment. That's why I was a little confused, because we had discussed another poem in class.
Okay. Can you tell me about your assignment?
Basically, he wants us to, for lack, better terms, he wants us to read it and translate it into what's the meaning behind it.
Okay. So are you supposed to write a paper about the meaning or
Like I guess a summary. The summary is basically a translation of this.
okay.
The summary and basically.
Is it going to be what the poem means to you or what you think the poet meant?
What the poet meant. What the poet was trying to say.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start out with the first line. When you read that first line,
Mhm.
are there any words in it that vocabulary words that maybe you're not sure of or anything?
I'm pretty good on the vocabulary,
Okay.
but it says there is no greater treason than that of reason. What does that mean? I know what treason is. I know what treason is. I know what reason
Okay.
is. Those seem to be important because they
Okay.
rhyme. But
Right. So what do you think the poet or the writer means by that when there's no greater treason than that of
Well,
reason?
okay. Well, treason is a crime, and it says there's no greater crime than that of reason, which is, I guess, understanding, logic.
Right.
So in a way, the poet's defying logic. You know, he says, there's no greater crime than that of reasoning or, you know, understanding.
Right. Then maybe being logical. So I wonder what he thinks being logical about. Let's go to the next line.
Maybe he's not a math person.
Right. Go to the
All right.
next line and see what he thinks.
Let's see. That would label sadness into illness.
Huh. So wonder, what's he mean by that?
That would label sadness. Well, label is to put something on to.
All right.
And that would label sadness. Now, how do you into illness? Like, how does sadness label sadness into it?
Well, maybe people that are suffering from sadness and they stick a label on their forehead, stamp on it
Okay.
with a diagnosis, maybe? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, into you put something into something else, like a box per se. So maybe, yeah, that's kind of what they do. They just take sadness and throw it into the category of illness.
Maybe. That sounds like that's what maybe
So it's
they're
like-
going after. Trying to intellectualize or reason feelings, maybe?
Well, yeah, it says that of reason that would label. So trying to reason your emotions.
Okay.
Trying to categorize your emotions. That kind of logic. Okay.
Or intellectualize feelings. So go to the next line. See what you think.
Purging and splurging the black away.
What's that mean?
Well, purging to get rid of, splurging to just all over
Yep.
the black away. Like they're trying to just hide it, get rid of it maybe.
Deny it, maybe?
Yeah, maybe they are in
And what's
denial.
the black? Is he talking about no lights? Or,
I think the black, it might have something to do with the sadness,
I think you're right.
the bad emotion that
Right.
somebody might be having.
Right. Yeah, because sometimes when people are sad, they feel really black and dark and those dark images. And so if we're intellectualizing, reasoning feelings, it can be you're denying the feeling, maybe. So what's
Yeah.
what's the next?
All right, in the endless pursuit of a whitewashed light of day. Well, that seems contrasting to the last one, the black versus the white. And the endless meaning it just keeps going and going, like they're trying to grasp at a whitewashed light of day, which to me sounds like a happy thing, what their ultimate goal would be.
Yeah, whitewashed light of day, like when you think of a whitewashed picket fence,
That's interesting.
maybe whitewashing things is covering up.
Endless pursuit of whitewashed. Oh, okay. So maybe it's not to actually solve it, but to make it look like it's solved.
Paint it,
Paint
cover
it.
it.
To paint it, cover it up. Okay.
So maybe the feelings, when they're being denied, they're just being whitewashed.
Like people hide their emotions sometimes.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good way to put it.
Okay. Beneath the broken pieces stirring.
Yeah.
So how would the rest of, well, that's the end of the sentence.
What do you
I guess.
think the broken pieces are?
Probably the problems they're having.
Sounds like it.
The emotional problems.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Broken pieces.
Which the stirring, they're all over the place. They're
Yeah.
constantly moving. You're thinking of one thing. and
Right,
then-
a lot of fragmenting in that person's life, maybe.
And the granules of the earth entreating. Well, granules is like, well, the dirt, the little bits. So I understand the broken pieces. But what's entreating mean?
In treating, read into the next line, in treating, because there's no punctuation at the end of that line. In fact, if you notice, a lot of the lines don't have punctuation at the end.
So it's
So
almost
they're
like
moving into the next line and treating in my pain for another.
Okay. So beneath the broken pieces stirring, and the granules of the earth entreating, in the pain for another feeling.
Entreating in my pain for another.
Entreating.
So maybe this person and their pain for another is not only having their own pain, but maybe, do you think they...
It's entreating is like to take in, maybe? To
and
take in the pain of the other person as well, to feel what they feel.
right.
Like empathy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And meshing, merging, meshing,
Meshing.
maybe with
Meshing.
another person.
Hmm.
Reading this, what do you think about this author? Do you think the poet maybe feels pain?
Yeah, he was not a happy camper.
Yeah, and or even if he doesn't personally feel it, he can connect with people who do. What's this next line? Feeling.
Feeling that deep blue flower rising, speaking forever. Well, that deep blue flower, I don't think he's literally talking about flowers unless he's, clinically insane. But what would the deep blue flower, is it like a metaphor for something?
Could be. Keep going and see what
'Cause
happens next.
Rising, speaking forever instead of never, beginning from the depths. Cry. Well, we're talking about emotions, so the depths, I imagine, is somewhere in his emotions.
The deep blue flower, maybe it's trying to find some hope.
Yeah, because a flower sounds positive, like,
Mhm.
happy things spring, but the deep blue, I mean, the deep blue doesn't sound too.
Yeah, deep blue could be kind of like that buried hope down there, but it's rising.
That's attempting to come out,
and trying to
Okay.
speak
speaking. Okay.
always.
So you're trying to find the right words to tell people how you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of,
It's forever instead of never. So the author's always trying to do that, it seems?
it sounds like that,
It's never perfect, it's always getting refined.
well, or maybe the sadness is always there,
Sadness is always there. Okay.
speaking forever,
And instead of never, but
beginning.
from the depths of his emotions. Okay. And then cry, I guess, is what he ends up doing. That's all
Yeah.
he can do.
Yeah, when he's honest, that's what he does.
Hmm.
He can cry. Can you relate to any of that?
Sure. I mean, it's a very global idea. I mean, I have emotions too, and I've cried before.
And what do you think the author or the writer's trying to get people to think about in terms of feelings?
That he doesn't want you to purge it or just cover it over or to
Uh-huh.
label it.
Right.
Basically, to reason with all of those and try to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But beneath all of that, just keep trying to tell people how you feel. You'll never get there, but you'll get closer and closer, like I said, forever instead of never, instead of not trying at all. So it's better to try to explain your feelings than to not try at all.
And maybe be honest about them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you understand this a lot better than you realize.
Well, it seems a lot easier when you break it down into line by line and explain it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just reading over it and going, what is this?
Well,
No comprende.
I think you got a good handle on it, and you could probably do a good job with the paper on it. What do you think?
No, it's not
Feel
as
good
bad.
about it?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. Might want to write poetry myself, miss.
Go for it.
Thank you. You're the greatest.
So are you.
thank you all. It's a very difficult thing to tutor in front of colleagues, and it's a different thing because you feel that someone is watching you. You're gonna make a mistake. You're gonna forget to divide. You're gonna forget, the meaning of treason. Something's gonna happen. It's a normal thing. Teachers feel it too when they're being observed. It's like, I know how to teach. Why can't I teach today? But so it's very brave, and I thank you all for volunteering to come up here. And we are a big class, so that doesn't help. And there's a video camera on top of it all. So the assignment for next week is going to be to write a journal reaction that will reflect your observations today on each of the sessions that you did watch. So please do make sure to follow the guidelines that are in your syllabus. And the last thing I want to do, I just want to call your first names, because I know I still don't have everyone's name, and there are some new faces, and also to make sure that I do have everyone also on my list. And if, like I said, if you are new, please do stay after for a few minutes. I do need to meet with you before that. And also, for next time that we meet, I do want to invite the other labs, and especially if you're from other campuses, to a tour. So if you'd like to tour and take a look at the SLCs here and meet more people, I'd be more than glad to either be your tour guide or get someone to give you the tour if I have a meeting to attend after. So if that's something that you guys are interested in for next week, please let me know, and I'll be more than glad to do that to you. So put comfortable shoes on, because we are spread out here in the Lake Worth. But if that's something you're interested in, I think it would be a good idea for us to get to know you more and for you to get to know us here on this campus.